Hello, gorgeous folks. This is Darice at Moonlight Astro. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to get into the astrology for the upcoming week, April 23rd through April 30th. First of all, just want to check in though, see how everyone's doing. Hope you are doing well. I'm feeling better myself. I've definitely noticed a shift in the air as we enter Taurus season. Mars just recently entered Leo, and I feel like that's helping clear out some of this foggy Piscean energy we've been experiencing for most of April. Although a lot of that's still going to be at play towards the end of April, the rest of this week as well. But for me, I do feel like the fog is cleared, momentum is going. I feel I have more energy for the action phase, the things that I need to get done. Most of April, I felt like I had to push myself. I had to really just make myself do XYZ. I'm curious if you felt the same way. And if you did, feel free to let me know in the comments. But other than that, I don't think this is going to be too long today. Like I said, there isn't too much going on. But what is happening this upcoming week is pretty impactful. And yeah, it just feels like it's going to be a good week. I feel like April for me has been a good time for a lot of self-reflection, helping me get a better sense of my value, my worth, what I desire, both in my business and also in my personal life. And I'm wondering if that's true for you as well. If you had any major epiphanies post-eclipse season. We are going to be moving towards the third and final Mars-Pluto opposition. We've been feeling that energy sort of in the background since November of 2024. But I'll talk about that more as we get into the video. And I, for one, I know, I feel really happy. Maybe it's just because I'm in the Northern Hemisphere and spring is here. The weather is beautiful on the East Coast. But internally, I feel like there has been a shift. I feel like my energy has come back to me. And I feel like I'm just roaring and ready to go. It's kind of ironic. I kind of feel like I'm finally feeling the Aries season energy now that we're in Taurus. It's kind of odd, but we'll see how it plays out. We'll see what May brings for Taurus season, which I usually do like, that prelude to summer, it's kind of fun. But anyway, let's just get into the astrology. Don't want to ramble too long. April 24th, we have Venus conjunct the North Node. We also have Venus conjunct Saturn. And also that same day, we have Saturn opposing Pluto. And then we have that final Mars-Pluto opposition, April 26th. And then April 30th, Venus enters Aries. But like I said, let me just take it one by one, step by step. So if that felt overwhelming to you, don't worry. We're just going to go through it piece by piece. Okay, so April 24th, big day. Venus conjunct the North Node. The North Node is sort of what our soul's purpose is, our destiny that's calling towards us or pulling us towards our ideal self, our ideal future, our ideal life is how I think of the North Node. Venus, love, values, beauty. So when they come together in a supportive conjunction, we're basically spotlighting maybe some faded connections, or maybe you'll have a sense of a deeper layer of understanding around your own personal values. That could happen around this time. You may have more epiphanies around your sense of value, either in terms of what you're offering professionally, your actual offers, or you may have some more epiphanies around your rebranding if you were doing that, looking at those things during the Venus retrograde. This could be a good day to launch some of the things that you were strategizing or revisiting during the Venus retrograde. This might be a good day to implement those things. Like if you were looking at a new logo or a new website, maybe a new email sequence, that sort of thing. You may also have some pivotal conversations with maybe clients or vendors, or you may have an understanding of maybe there may be a realization around certain partnerships, certain boundaries. It's possible that things could go to a deeper level in either professional connections or personal connections. One potential actionable tip Or maybe you could take the time to journal or reflect on what values are you building your business around? What values am I building my business around? This could also be a good day to connect with potential collaborators or even revisit offers that you've done in the past that you feel are a deeper reflection of your soul's path and purpose. A spiritual practice could be working with green avertine or jade as a way to attract abundance or root you in that feeling of abundance. Another potential journal exercise could be asking, what does right relationship with money and clients look like for me? What does right relationship with money and clients look like for me? Now, again, that same day, we have Venus coming together with Saturn in a conjunction. So, Venus, again, our love, values, money, and Saturn, structure, discipline. So, there may be a new level of commitment that you come to with your business or a particular offer. There may be a sense of needing to have boundaries around a particular maybe client relationship or relationship with a vendor. Maybe something needs to be cleaned up around there. Or you may also look at other ways in which you want to set up your branding, your aesthetics, or maybe this could happen in your personal life. Maybe there may be a project in terms of like reorganizing your office or your space to help you be more productive. Maybe you need a certain corner to look more aesthetically pleasing so that when you're sitting in that space to do your work, you're able to be more focused. April 24th or around that time might be a good day to look at those types of things. Um, a good question to reflect on as well could be, is my business or are my businesses and brand built to last? Am I building something that's sustainable and easy on my nervous system? Are you setting your systems up for you to thrive, or do you have a situation where you're setting yourself up to experience burnout? This is something to reflect on. This could also be a good time to get really serious about finances. We've had a lot of Piscean energy the last few weeks, the last couple of months. You may have had some delusions around what you could actually afford in terms of going to the next level with your business. This could be a reality check around that type of thinking that might come up for you. It may or may not, and if it resonates for you, fine. If it doesn't resonate, no worries. Another actionable tip, you could again look at your pricing, your contracts, and any collaborative relationships or collaborative structures, any partnerships. Maybe something came up during the Mercury retrograde that you haven't had a chance to finish fleshing out or filling out or reevaluating. If you decided that certain contracts did need to be revised, maybe there's the next level of that. Maybe doing another version or revision of those contracts. Maybe that's happening around this time for you. A spiritual practice, you could light a black or brown candle as a way to bring in a sense of protection. And you could also write a business boundary spell or affirmation. Another crystal to work with around this time could also be black tourmaline, which is great for protection and grounding as well. In a nutshell, this may be a time to look at where you need to say no with love to a particular person or a particular relationship, or maybe even just a belief system that you have around yourself and how you show up for your business. And now the final thing happening on that same day, April 24th, Saturn opposing Pluto. Saturn structure opposing Pluto, power and transformation. This could create a karmic pressure cooker. And so again, this could reflect some of the earlier themes that I talked about. Like I said, around this time, there may be some big inner shifts around control, authority, and long-term responsibility. For example, you may be asked to release what no longer serves you in order to step into your true leadership or your next level of leadership, both as a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, or as a leader in your community endeavors. There may be a reflection around power dynamics that could come up, that could be revealed to you, maybe either in your business relationships, your relationships to money. That might be coming to the surface. Maybe wounds around those areas could be coming up. And again, if anything is coming up, it's coming up to be cleared and healed so that you can be able to step into a next level version of yourself. One potential action tip, maybe just identify one control pattern or outdated system that's ready to go. I know for me, what's happened in the last couple of weeks, and it's so interesting because I talk about this stuff all the time, but I've had to really lean into trusting the energy of the day and the week. I plan my schedule ahead of time. I look at what astrological sign the moon is going to be in. So, for example, when the moon is in Sagittarius, a fire sign, those can be a good day for me to do physical activity like cardio workouts, that sort of thing. But the last couple of weeks, when that's happened, I haven't always had the same energy that I would traditionally feel when the moon is in a fire sign. And so I've just had to trust that that's okay. That if I'm not feeling the energy to do a certain thing that I set out to do, for part of this month's focus, we're looking at setting up our 3 priorities for the day or the week. And when I was doing that, sometimes I had to change the priority for the day because I just didn't have the physical energy or it just wasn't calling to me. And I just had to trust that I didn't need to do that particular activity that day. Some days I would say, okay, I'm going to do a certain amount of batch recordings for this particular day. And I just didn't have it in me. And I said, all right, don't worry about it. And then 2 days later, I woke up feeling energized and I was ready to do those batch recordings. And so it was a good reminder for me to just trust the ebb and flow of the energy. And one of the reasons why I have this channel is because it does remind me of that. And this is why I like teaching it to people. Because even I, after like 3 years of like living like this now, I still am concerned that if I don't do something on a particular day, even though it's important to me, even though I'm passionate about it, I still have this fear that I'm not going to have the desire to do it ever again. Like there are times where I wake up and I think, oh my God, what if I don't ever want to go back on YouTube again? And, if that happens, then that happens. And then that means the universe has something else that it wants me to focus on. But most of the time, I just need a couple of days to just chill and relax. And then I'm really ready to come back on YouTube again because I really do love this space. I love this community. I love when people interact. And I love knowing that it's helping people. And I just feel like it's a great way to express a different side of myself. And so I just wanted to offer that to you that, trust your intuition, your own instinct about what needs to get done and when it needs to get done. And I feel like April 24th in particular is a good day for us to be reminded of that we are in sync with nature, the universe, and our own unique divine timing for the things that need to happen and unfold in our lives. A particular spiritual practice now, you could also burn old contracts, things that are no longer serving you. You could do this through letters. One of the things I've done recently is I rewrote letters. I wrote letters to the universe, rewriting or amending certain soul contracts I have with people in my life. And it's been really helpful. The energy is totally transformed and shifted for the better in those relationships. So maybe that's something you could try for yourself. And another crystal to work with at this time, you could meditate with obsidian or onyx to help transmute any fear that you have around authority or relationships to either other authority figures or your sense of yourself as an authority figure. And obsidian is also another great protection stone as well. Excuse me, getting hot here. And now the final Mars-Pluto opposition. We have been feeling this since November 2024. I believe the first date was November 3rd, then January 3rd, 2025, and now April 26th is going to be the final Mars-Pluto opposition. I do have a longer video about that, so you could check that on the playlist that pops up at the end of this video. But basically, Mars, our ability to act, courage, bravery, and again, Pluto, deep transformation. And when they oppose each other, it can be a very challenging aspect. It can be, they're both, I think of Mars and Pluto as both destructive forces, but they're destructive in different ways. Mars can be destructive when it's in its shadow side in terms of being aggressive, inappropriate expressions of anger. And then Pluto can be literal destruction often when you have a Pluto transit in your life. You could have something like a divorce, or you can have an actual physical disruption, like actual explosions or volcanoes, that sort of thing. And so when you have two destructive energies opposing each other, it can kind of be what some people would refer to as a tower moment in the tarot. Things are blown up and ripped away from you or your life so that something new can come in. So reflect back, look at what has been ripped away from your life or your business since November 2024. What friendships or partnerships or relationships with vendors or clients have been completely removed that you didn't expect to be released. You may, and it may not even be actual relationships, although in my case, it actually has been an actual relationship. My boss, who I've worked with at my day job for the last 7 years, has moved on to another department. That's how that played out for me. So it may be something as simple as that for you. It may not be this incredibly like intense disruption, but it may have. But the main thing is, I feel like this energy, again, it's a higher level expression of what I've been talking about during this whole video. Whatever is being ripped away is for our higher good. It's for our soul's purpose, for us to move to a new level of our true essence, our true authentic self, our true power. And I think ultimately, many of you who follow me, this is what your business is about for you. It is an expression of your soul's purpose and calling. So look at that. And also maybe this Mars Pluto opposition, especially with Mars spending so much time in Cancer, may have been an opportunity for you to look at how you sit with being uncomfortable, your own insecurities, your own weaknesses. How do you dance with that? How do you sit with the relationships that are challenging for you? How do you maintain your own boundaries, your own emotional space? I feel like most of 2025 so far has been an opportunity for many of us to do that shadow work, to look at how we use our own sense of willpower. How do we show up as leaders in our own life? How do we deal with the bullies in our own life? Because given everything that's happening in the collective as well, I feel that this Mars Pluto opposition has been really teaching us that if we can deal with the bullies in our own life, if we can stand up to the people that we have discomfort around, if we can get stronger in that way, the more of us who do that individually in our own lives, the more we'll shift the energy of the collective in addressing the bullies that are running the world right now. And I'm not the only one saying this. I've heard other mediums and astrologers say the same thing. I think this is definitely the vibe in the air right now. And this could be a good time to check in on how the shadow work has been coming along for you for this year. What have you learned in your healing spaces, your therapy, the coaches you're working with? And if you haven't found a therapist or a coach to work with, this could be a good time to do that. You know, maybe this is a time to be looking at the energy work if you haven't been doing it. If you have been doing the body work and the somatic healing, what has been revealed to you? What do you still need to work on? This could be a good check-in point to celebrate what you have released, what you have healed from, what you have grown into. And then this could also be a check-in point for, okay, what's the next level? What do I want to be revisiting or working on in the next 3 to 4 months with my, personal support team, my therapist, my coach, my astrologer, my Reiki healer, my massage therapist. One of the things I've recently done, I've joined a gym. I haven't been part of a gym for a long time, but I've been feeling the call to literally get physically stronger. And so that was one of the things I decided to do. This could be another time as well to audit your energy, similar to what I was talking about earlier. Look at where have you been forcing your energy and where have you been allowing it to flow. This could be an opportunity to set some new standards for how you lead, how you work, and how you protect your vitality. Another good spiritual practice could be doing breath work, primal release work, primal movement, ecstatic dance could be really helpful. Anything that helps you release stored up frustration or tension. So taking a walk, going for a run, that type of thing. One potential affirmation, I choose power through presence, not pressure. I choose power through presence, not pressure. And then finally, Venus enters Aries. Venus now enters the fire sign of Aries. Aries is about bold action, initiation. What I love about Venus being in Aries and people who have this signature in their natal chart, they're very great at expressing what their heart literally desires. And so I think Venus entering Aries is a chance for you to sit with that as well. Are there any longings of desires of your heart that you have not been listening to? Use that time to reflect on that and to give yourself permission to express that. Again, bold, direct, and independent energy. And this could be in love, money, and creativity as well during this transit. In particular for solopreneurs, this could be a great time to become unapologetically visible. Give yourself permission to be magnetic and brave in your business endeavors. This is the time to focus on your passion-driven efforts, your passion-driven offers, and your personal brand expression. Actionable tips. This could be a great time to launch something bold, play with some of your visuals, and you can also even potentially raise your rates. Spiritual practice. A great stone to work with, red carnelian, again, to promote abundance, prosperity, or garnet to boost your self-worth and really help tap into that fearless creativity. There could also be a great time to do some mirror work. Maybe look at yourself and say, I am worthy of being fully seen and richly supported. I am worthy of being fully seen and richly supported. And with that, I think that's a great note to end on. If you've made it this far, I do appreciate it. Please do like the video. Please subscribe. This does help me get the message out to more people. Again, I'm wishing you love, peace, joy, and we made it through April. I know March and April were really intense for many of us, but we're almost there. We're in the final stretch. Again, wishing you all the best. Hope you have a wonderful time, morning, day, evening, whenever you're watching this. Again, peace, love, and joy to you. Easefully yours, Darice.